You have 2 of them. Stop being selfish.
I actually might have 3. There's been some debate about that.
Dude!
I told you my price. You get Olmark. But Aho is coming back the other way.
That's not even close to fair.
Fair? Why would I fix your biggest problem? You want to play, you gotta pay, kumquat.
You know, hang on a second. Hey, do you remember back when out of all of the low quals, me and him got along the best?
No. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. I talk to them. They don't want to hear you. You sound like you're gargling avocado pits when you talk. It's unpleasant.
Couple of years of being first in the league, and now he's high-roading me at every turn.
Bro, you are like 4'6". It's impossible not to high road you.
Hey, when are all these regular season accolades gonna translate into the playoffs?
You tell me, cupless wonder.
12 years since yours, 17 since mine. What's the difference, really?
5 years, cousin it.
Weird Al ripoff?
Weird Al? Bro, you are a Walmart brand Joe Dirt.
You look like the kind of guy that believes showers are just a suggestion.
Oh, that reminds me. They ever find your dentist, or is he still lost in that bucktooth gap you got?
No, that's what it is. You look like the guy that believes the stripper is actually in love with you. Buddy, she's not.
You leave your mother out of this.
I missed you, man.
Me too, bud. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, you too.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. It's not. As much as you want to look at it as a dub, and how much you want to believe it was a dub, it wasn't a dub. There were some issues for a lot of this one. We were due. We were due for a game where we just didn't look good, frankly, for most of it. And we just didn't look right. It just sucks that it came against the Carolina Hurricanes, who we've built this kind of, rivalry with a bit. I don't know. I think you can tell from the skit. The Canes don't bother me as much as they bother some people. Like, screw them. I get it. Screw them. And I'm not a huge fan of their coach or most of their fan base. But they just don't bother me the same way some other teams and fan bases do. I don't know why that is, really. Either way, let's talk about this Canes team a little bit. I think it would be a little unfair because of the way this is our first meeting with them this year, and we won't get our other 2 meetings with them until April, by the way, oddly enough. I don't think it's fair to look at their season numbers because they struggled out of the gate. They had some weird issues with pieces that they were trying to fit into their team. But they've been looking real good lately. Since the Christmas break, they have been 8-2-1. They have the 4th best offense in the league, the 9th best defense, the number 1 power play, and the number 5 penalty kill, and the 17th ranked goaltending in the league. That 17, during that stretch, that 17th ranked goaltending is obviously their biggest weakness. Now, they miss Freddie Anderson, who still has blood clots, which we are praying that he gets over and is able to continue playing at some point. That's a scary thing. But with the hand they're dealt right now, they have a problem in net. When you think about it, well, hey, those numbers are actually pretty close to what their season numbers are, including this stretch. They have a stellar power play, a top 10 offense on the whole season, top 5 penalty kill. But the big difference here is their goaltending, even with this recent stretch where they're ranked 17th included, is dead last in team save percentage. Now, you could say, all right, well, their defense obviously isn't that helpful, and their goalies are struggling. Maybe they're struggling, but also the defense isn't helping out that much. It couldn't be more opposite. So the numbers are based off of all strengths, meaning special teams are included. No matter what advanced or non-advanced analytic you use for how good a defense is, the Canes are number 1. No matter what you're choosing, the Canes are the best team in the league. At shot suppression, they have the best Corsi numbers, the best Fenwick numbers, the best expected goals allowed numbers. Even if you just went by shots against, they're the number 1 team at preventing shots. They are the best team in the league at defense. And because their goaltending is dead last, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Isn't that nuts? Their goaltending ranking 17th the last 2 weeks has allowed them to go, including this game, 9-2-1. The goaltending hasn't even been great. It's just been middle of the pack. And the team's dominant. God, that team's a wagon right now. Which makes me hate them more. It makes me hate them more. They are still missing Svechnikov, as we know. Spencer Martin is going to get the start against us. He was claimed off of waivers. This is his 4th start against the Bruins by game 47. Weird. Weird. He did crush us in one game. Just a ridiculous performance by him led to a loss to Columbus, and then got smoked the other 2. So, he just plays weird against us. On our end, the lines aren't going to change other than Patra is going to get scratched. Steen is going to be put into the lineup at that 4th right wing spot. I'm not losing my mind about that. I want Patra in, but I want him to be higher up in the lineup than that. It doesn't make sense to play him on the 4th. Freddie and Lemieux, Brendan Lemieux, this is the first time they're playing in God knows how long. We know that these two guys hate each other. They would not fight. Spoiler alert. Huge bummer. Oh, and Omar gets his 2nd start since liking, commenting, and subscribing. Also the injury. 2nd start since the injury. Let's talk about this game. Puck drops! Got a little dizzy there. 3-0 went in. Chatfield is going to go for tripping. We're going to go to the power play. And that penalty kill is real aggressive. The power play looked terrible. And this one, I thought, hey, that penalty kill, real good. Real good. And then 3:28 left of the period. We're going to skip the whole period, basically, because not much happened. There were some scoring chances, but these two teams were just playing really tight hockey. Anyway, 3:28 left. Carlo's going to go for holding the stick. We're going to go on the penalty kill. And about a minute and a half into the penalty kill, Forbort has a chance to stop this puck coming down that left wall. Jams his stick into the wall to stop it and drops his stick. So the play's gonna continue. And it wraps around the boards to behind the net. And there's going to be a scrum. Forbort's going to come in. He's going to lay a big hit. Zacha gets a chance to clear the puck. He's got a guy draped all over him. He's behind the net. That's a tough clear. I'm actually not going to crush the guy for not being able to get it out. It gets stopped on the blue line. They're going to feed it back to Natchez, who is circling up by that left circle and turns into the slot and uses a moving screen to beat Omar low blocker. And it's 1-0 power play goal. Not a great start for the penalty kill. Once again, that's really struggling. The penalty kill is really struggling. And for a team that likes to take a lot of penalties, that's not great. Either way, it's 1-0. 26 seconds left of the period. Marchand's going to go for hooking. We are going to kill off that 26 seconds and start the next period on the penalty kill. They are going to take a penalty 47 seconds in as Nason goes for tripping. So it's 4v4 for about 45-ish seconds, and then 5v4 power play for us for about a minute and 10-ish. Best chance of our power play is a contested Seth Jarvis breakaway that Olmark Stone's 5-hole. This period's a disaster. The first period's mostly a disaster too. Like, we get outplayed pretty significantly. But this period's a disaster. Through the first 7 minutes, we are outshot 8-0. And then we finally get put together a nice little play by McAvoy, and Martin comes up huge on the save. What you are really relying on, at least for the first 40 minutes, is, okay, Martin has to screw up. Or not even screw up. He just can't be a god in net. Because we can capitalize on one chance and suck the life out of the Canes because they've been dominating. But we just got to tie this up. Get one bounce. Doesn't work out that way. 9:49 left. Geeky's going to go for tripping to the penalty kill. And minute 40 into the penalty kill. That never left our zone, by the way. This is how it went, by the way. This is the penalty kill. Forbort turnover. Marchand turnover. Marchand turnover. About 90 seconds of pure, unending pressure by the Canes. And then a pass is blocked by Carlo as they try to throw it into the slot. But it still bounces into the slot, and Forbort is backing away from it to cover backdoor where there is no one to cover. So the puck stays loose in the slot. A scrum begins, and then Turbo Teravainen is able to grab that puck and go Bardowski on Olmark, leading to their second power play goal of the game, because our penalty kill was not doing well before Forbort got back, is definitely not better with Derek Forbort. And I know I preached, hey, we're going to give him time because he just came back from injury. I think I'm already breaking that rule. He wasn't the only one through 40 minutes. I can't do this to him. I'm really done watching Forbort. I really, really am excited when he's no longer in the Spoke B. But everyone was bad through 40 minutes. Almost everyone. It is not fair for me just to point out him. He was bad during this penalty kill. So was Marchand, who turned it over twice. What are you going to do, right? 5:09 left. Lemieux for tripping power play. Obviously, no dice. It's a bad power play right now. We have a great power play, statistically, on the season, and it's been humming along at almost 33% over the past couple of weeks. I'm not losing my mind about the power play. I know it's easy to be like, how did you not score on this power play? You're not going to score at all of them. If you score on 1/3 of your power plays, you have an incredible power play. Math. So you're going into the third, and you're thinking about something Brick said about 9 minutes into the first period. You beat this Canes team. You beat a tight-checking, aggressive team. An aggressive team. That's probably the best part of this. An aggressive defensive team like this. You beat them by winning one matchup. You beat your guy. You turn the numbers on them, and all of a sudden, that aggression works against them. Because that guy that you just beat is out of the play for seconds. And seconds is all you need. Someone else has to react because in their head, aggression is the point. You have to start this period and you have to be able to beat one guy to open up some opportunities. And early on in this one, a minute 30 in, Coyle, Frederic, and Marchand, the new top line, get to work. And this was 3 or 4 board battles where each time, whether Coyle, Marchand, or Frederic, or Lindholm, they won that battle against their one guy. And it allowed the play to continue. Now, that's a lot of battles to win in a row, but it's an excellent shift. And it all comes together when the puck is pinched down by Lindholm. He stops the puck on the left wall. He's going to feed that back down the boards. Frederic's going to jump on it. He's behind-ish the net, a little bit to the left. He's going to get in a battle. He's going to push the puck out. Or maybe the puck gets pushed out and it's a good bounce for us. Either way, we'll take it at this point. Frederic spins off his defender, comes out from the wall just a little bit to poke that puck across the crease where Marchand is waiting with a lot of net. And it is 2-1, a minute 30 in. Keep going. 7:17 in. A defensive zone faceoff win after some shenanigans because it's not clean. Frederic's going to pick up the puck behind our net, and he is going to take the space. He's waiting for a defender to come to him. If none come, you take the space. And when one does, you beat the one defender. He takes it all the way down that left wall. He sees Coyle has beat his guy to the front of the net. They're full speed. Full hauling ass at Spencer Martin. Great pass by Freddie. Coyle gets the tip. Stoned. But Marchand beats his guy as the trailer to poke this 5-hole. And it's 2-2. Marchand gets 2 goals. Freddie gets 2 assists. That line's humming. They're doing some nice stuff right now. And then 6:31 left. Steen with a hustle play to push past Orlov to create a potential breakaway. Orlov is forced to take him down. Gets called for the interference. We go on the power play. Now, the power play doesn't succeed. But this is where everyone's upset. Because during this power play, I kept seeing people say 3 penalties. I must have missed one. There was a blatant boarding where DeBrusque I think it was Burns, just put DeBrusque's skull through the glass. That was fun to watch. No call. And then a blatant hooking that was yanking Coyle away from the puck by Aho. No call. The reason I'm not losing my mind, there were a billion no calls in this game. There were a billion of them. Was this a huge pivotal moment that would have put us up on a 5-on-3 advantage? Absolutely. Were they so blatant that it's kind of absurd they weren't called? Absolutely. But you were on the power play, and you got to make something happen here. And we didn't. And also, you put yourself in this position. The first 40 minutes were miserable. They were really bad hockey. The Canes were crushing us. You got yourself in that hole, and what does that mean? It means even if you force your way back, one bad bounce gets to beat you. Which is hockey. That's part of the game. That's what's going to happen sometimes. But you did put yourself in the position where one bounce could beat you. And it did. Because with 2:27 left, a nice transition chance by the Bruins doesn't come to fruition, and Lindholm pinched during it. So there's a fast break the other way, and Carlo doesn't recognize that Lindholm had already pinched. So it's just him. And he sees the play coming up in the neutral zone, and he pinches. And he tries to disrupt it there. Doesn't work. Puck gets punched up to Martinook, who has a mile to work with Ullmark. He gets between the dots and just fires low glove. And you want to talk about ones that you want back. It squeaks through. It dribbles over the line. Carlo's pissed. Ullmark's pissed. Lindholm's pissed. Everyone who's tasked with keeping the puck out is just like, damn, not great by us. Didn't hate the Lindholm pinch. And I'm bummed. I'm bummed that Carlo made that play. It wasn't a good play by Carlo. We put ourselves in the position to lose the game off of one bounce. And that's just a God honest truth there. This was a great pushback against a really good team that's playing great hockey right now. I'm not going to lose any sleep over this. Final score 3-2. It's a loss. Regulation loss. Let's talk about a couple game notes real quick. The first game note is actually about that Monty thing that I talked about with beat the one guy. It's a famous phrase in every sport, right? You beat the one, you create a man advantage. Awesome. Not really football, I guess, or baseball. Any like team, everyone playing at the same time kind of sport. Which I guess is sort of football, but you get what I mean. I love that mentality because I feel like some coaches don't coach that way. I feel like that's a winning way to coach. I feel like that's how winners feel. We have the talent where you are able to beat the one guy. So beat him. You are allowed to make the mistake. And you are allowed to fail attempting to beat the one guy. We've talked about Lorai. Don't try to beat four guys. Just beat the one. Frustrations with Pasternak or Liesel down in the AHL. Don't beat the four guys. Beat the one guy and create the mismatch. It's just a winning formula. It's a winning mentality, and I really like it. And I thought Brick made a great point about it. Really, I just like bringing it up because Brick was talking about it, talked about how Monty wants to play that kind of style. I just really like it. Other game notes, Ullmark was solid. He just didn't make the big one. He made a couple big ones, but you want to talk about the big one? He didn't make the big one. You're not going to make the big one every night. Michael Jordan missed buzzer beaters. It happens. But the biggest game note of all, Trent Frederic played on the top line for a period. And looked great. Small sample size, all that kind of stuff. I'm not kicking that line out of bed. Absolutely not. It's a lot for a bed to handle. But that Coyle, Marchand, Freddie line was... Coyle ends up with Freddie again, which we love. And Marchand was just playing his ass off with those guys. After 40 minutes of Marchand being pretty abysmal. Kept trying to work his way through multiple guys, overhandling, holding for too long, not making a decision quickly. Just stuff that's not really Marchand. It was a bad 40, and then the next 20 was just great. That whole line was great. Move Zaka and Pasta back together, and whoever you want to toss on their wing. DeBrusque was there for a while. JVR took some shifts there. Fine. But that top line with Frederic on it, I kind of really digged it. I hope we see that again soon. I really do. Anyway, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Thank you again to all of the YouTube membership program peoples. You guys rock. You guys just absolute studs. I'm naming it tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. This is so dumb. I'm so dumb. Hey, this Bruins team is awesome. Love these guys. Great team. We're so lucky. Go Bees. Go Bees! Thank you for watching, but of course, we've got to give a shout out to the low quality YouTube channel members. Need a real name for that one of these days. Starting with the top line tier, the Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Brock Nope, Aaron Adams, Coach D, Just Aaron, Han Slomo, Darren Woodbury, Micro Sausage, Brett Arney, Pincent, Justin Barnard, and Nick Zatrullo. You guys are studs. And then we have our stallions: Abraxion, Hailey E. Coyote, Joel, Jacob Pratt, Jason Ozzy Bruin Connolly, Tupton Ditashi,
Jonathan Harvey, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42,
Bruins Smash,
and Jeremy. Absolute legends. Thank you guys so much for your support, and go Bees.